Welcome to the Self-Trust Solution, the podcast for entrepreneurs, leaders, and high achievers who are done second-guessing and ready to execute with clarity. I'm your host, Dawn Leday, the Self-Trust Coach, and each week I'll help you build the one strategy that makes all others work, self-trust. This is where bold goals meet grounded action. Let's dive in. Have you ever felt like no matter how much you do, it's still not enough? Like you're always starting from scratch? Today, I'm sharing one of the most powerful and perhaps simplest tools I've ever created, the I'm so impressed list, and why self-celebration isn't fluff, it's strategy. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into a tool that started as something I created just for me and ended up changing the way my clients and peers approach growth, doubt, and momentum. If you've been stuck in a cycle of always noticing what's missing or feel like your progress just disappears in the rearview mirror, this episode is for you. Today, we're going to talk about why self-celebration is a strategic advantage. Our brain's default is lack unless we intervene. So we're going to talk about the origin story from starting over to strategic self-belief, how clients needed it too, and it worked again and again, how you can use it without making it a burden. Let's dive in. It's no secret our brains are wired to notice danger, threats, and what's not done yet. That's not failure, that's neuroscience. But when this becomes our default lens in life and business, it erodes self-trust. You start focusing on what you haven't done instead of seeing the power of what you have. And here's the deal. What you've done is proof of what you're capable of, but only if you connect to it. It's not a limit of what you can do. It's proof that you can go from not doing something to being able to do it. I created the I'm so impressed list early in my business when I moved from corporate to becoming an entrepreneur. I remember feeling like I was starting from zero, like nothing I had done before mattered in this new role as an entrepreneur. But that wasn't true. I had years of leadership, decision making, organization skills, teaching, and communication skills that were all absolutely part of this new chapter. So I wrote them down, not just the external accomplishments, but the moments I showed grit, determination, perseverance, made something work, endured something hard. That simple habit shifted everything. It helped me show up not as a beginner, but as someone becoming, backed by real data about my own capacity. When I started coaching, I noticed my clients doing the same thing I had, the minimizing of their strengths, dismissing their progress, doubting their capacity in new goals. So I mentioned the list, and client after client came back saying that changed everything. Peers adopted it. Clients used it to get through launches, big decisions, parenting breakdowns, and personal pivots because it reminds you you've already done hard things. You already have what it takes to do this next thing too. This isn't a chore. It's not a 20-minute journaling practice. It's a strategic support tool. And this is how you use it. On the top of a page or a digital document or notes on your phone, write, I'm so impressed that. And you can put ... Then let it flow. Underneath, just put all the things down that you can be impressed with yourself about. Some examples might be, I'm so impressed that I followed through on my boundary this week. I'm so impressed that I figured out how to launch that email. I'm so impressed that I didn't cancel that meeting even when I was tired. Keep it digital or physical. Add to it when you remember something or when you need a boost. You don't need to be in the mood. You just need a moment of intention. This is not about empty praise. It's not about pretending everything is amazing. It's about anchoring in what's real, your traits, your resilience, your resourcefulness. Here's what we often forget: we treat our accomplishments like they're in the rearview mirror, like they were part of who we were instead of who we are, as if it is a done and done. But everything you've achieved, endured, or overcome didn't just fade into the past. It became part of your foundation. It became part of your evolved state for everything new you go after and reach for and experience. You're not working from zero. You're not starting from scratch. You're not starting from the same place you started that last accomplishment. You're starting from experience, from a new level that you have earned. There was a time you hadn't done it yet, and then you did. There was a time you didn't know if you could, and then you proved you could. That's not a relic. That's a resource. This isn't a binary of what's done versus what's not. It's an evolution, a stacking of capability, wisdom, and identity that you carry forward. And that is what the I'm so impressed list helps you remember and embody. What will you take away from today's episode? My goal is for you to create a habit of strategic acknowledgement. Self celebration isn't ego, it's evidence, useful evidence, and it creates momentum and fuels belief. Progress doesn't disappear, it accumulates, but you have to connect to it to benefit from it. You're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. The I'm so impressed list makes that undeniable. This tool is for every phase: doubt, growth, or celebration. You can add to it or just read it when you need to remember who you are. You are not facing today's challenges from the same level you did 5 years ago, or even 5 months ago, and heck, for some of us, 5 days ago. You've changed, you've grown, you've evolved. Every time you meet something hard and move through it, you become an evolved version of you. That version of you, that's the one tackling this next step. So the next time doubt gets loud, open your list or start one. Not because you need a gold star, but because you need a mirror that reflects not just who you were, but who you've become. And that is someone who's ready for whatever comes next. If you want more tools like this, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast. Follow it. Also, go grab my free Are You a Dawn quiz. This is my fun, short 2-minute quiz that can help you see if you think maybe a little bit like I do as a self-trust coach would, and help you figure out the best next step in building your self-trust strategy. It's at theselftrustcoach.com. And if this episode helped you, please share it with a friend who needs a reminder that their progress counts. It is present and active in them, and we take it as we move forward towards anything from an evolved state. Next week, we're going to take a quick detour. We may call it even timely, if I can be corny. We have our guest Dalit share on managing one of our most precious resources, and that's time. And it is very timely because then we're going to return to our tool series with an equally time-focused episode on the success state calculator, which may just be your answer to feeling behind. Remember, you don't need a new you. You need more trust in the one you already are. See you next time on the Self Trust Solution Podcast. Inside every goal is a decision, an action, an evaluation, and an adjustment. Keep building your rhythm with the Self-Trust Solution. Subscribe, leave a review, and explore how we can work together at theselftrustcoach.com. I'll see you in the next episode.